welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we are doing a story time. If you're a new subscriber, you have discovered the best channel ever. Welcome. We welcome you. If you're an old subscriber, thank you very much for tuning back in. You know what it is. So guys, today we're doing a story time. And my son is standing right next to me. He's right here. He just woke up. I have actually made this video before, but then, you know, having a toddler in the house, guys, it's not a joke. It's like constant redoing of stuff. Everything has to be redone. Anyway, so he just woke up. He's going to be in and out of the video probably, and he's going to be making noises, so please do bear with me. As you guys read by today's title, the story time today is my birth and delivery story. So let's get right into it. 5 years ago, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Her name is Heaven. She was born on the 13th of June 2017. So I decided to induce my labor. I did quite a few things. I don't quite remember everything. Yes. I drank a lot of pineapple juice, and I had a lot of pineapples because those also help. I ate food with spices, and I did squats. I took walks all the time, and then we decided to do this one thing. It's a little bottle. I don't remember the name of the bottle or the whole thing, what it's called. I'll write it up here somewhere. So I decided to, that was the last thing that we decided to do. So I took that. It was like a drinkable, like it's a small bottle of liquid. I woke up at 12 and I had a bloody show. So I panicked a bit. I called my mom and she said to meet her at the doctor's office. Immediately got my things, and then I hopped into a cab and I went on over to the doctor's office, and I met up with my mom over there. So I go into the doctor's room and they just tell me that I'm having a bloody show. It's quite normal. That means that my labor is not like far. I'm getting closer to, like, you know, the whole thing. So he checks me and I was 2 centimeters dilated. I was excited because I was like, oh, thank God, at least I'm dilated. That means that now we are really, something is happening. Okay, so we left the doctor's office, but before that he told us that I should check in like at 7 p.m. If I felt like it was necessary to come in before 7 p.m. and then I could come in. We left to the mall to go pick up a few things, my mom and I, and then we just head on over to the house. I get home, that's around like, now it's like maybe 2 o'clock there, 2 p.m. My mom goes back to work and nothing is happening. And then, like, I think she came home around 4 o'clock and everybody else was home at this time. So we're home, we just chilling, and then I start getting like contractions. They were not heavy, but I could feel that, okay, this is not something that I would usually get, right? Come 7 p.m. In the evening, my mom's best friend came over, so we decided to take a walk to escort her basically, but like she was like, come on, tag along so that you can put in a few steps. Cool. So we go. What's happening? We're taking a walk, and then the contraction starts getting like stronger and stronger. So my mom, you know how like parents just stop in the middle of the road and then they like talk story? Hey. I decided to walk further and left them behind. That's my son. They start getting stronger. So I start like standing and just like holding onto my knees and stuff like that. So my mom noticed and she was like, yo, let's go home. I can see that you're in pain. I think it's probably time. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's not that bad. She's like, no, let's go because you need to go pack anyway. So we come back home. I start packing and she's going on. She's like, how haven't you packed your hospital bag? And guys, I'm a last minute person. Like I usually pack when like I'm in a rush, like when it's just like 1 hour to go or whatever, you know. So I start packing. The baby's bag is ready by this time. So I'm just packing my stuff and we head on over to her friend's house because she's the one who's supposed to go drop me off. We didn't have a car at home at the time. We got in the car and they drove me off. So this one baby, I gave birth to her in a private hospital. So that was on Dangwa Private. So, are you okay? So we drove over to the hospital. We get to the hospital and we go into the check-in point. So we go into the reception area and they're like, you already booked. The doctor was here. He informed us about you coming. And I think we got to the hospital around 9. The lady tells us go into the maternity ward, is the other side, and then go check in with them that side as well, and then they will show you where to go next. Cool. So we go, and this time my contractions are like, you know, stronger but not like as bad, like, you know. So we get in there and I was shown to my room. It's just like an open room with like 6 beds or something like that, where you labor basically. So I get in that room, it's like 6 beds and there's another lady there who's like in labor and it screams and everything, and I'm in there scared and I'm, yo, what did I just get myself into? I'm like, what did I just get myself into? So I'm in there, they come on over, they hook me up on everything. This thing, the little, it's belts, it's things that look like belts that they put on your stomach. One checks your contractions, the other one checks the baby's heart rate. We are in there, the other lady stops, like she just stops, she's not going through it anymore, she's not screaming, and then they had to discharge her to go home because like those were just Braxton Hicks. Apparently she was just exaggerating, right? So they sent her home and I'm in there now alone. Now the best part about private hospital, they like give you people that sit next to you to help you out, almost like a doula. So I got a doula, let's just call her a doula. So I got a doula, she's there, she's comforting me through everything, and they kept asking me, where, don't you have family that's supposed to be here with you? Like, don't you have like your mom or like your baby daddy and stuff like that? I'm in Ondangwa and he's in a different town at work. Yeah, my mom is supposed to go to work the next day. Everything is going well. I'm obviously getting these contractions, and then they came to check me and I'm still just at 2 centimeters. And I'm like, okay, what is happening? So then they give me, it's Pitocin, I think that's what it's called. So they give it to me and they're like, oh, now that you have taken this, it's not going to be long until you're like fully dilated and then you can like give birth. I'm like, okay, cool. So fast forward, in the middle of the night, like they come back, they check me, I'm at 3 centimeters dilated. They were like, oh, you're not moving as fast as we thought you would. We thought you would probably be giving birth by like in the next 3-4 hours at least, but it wasn't happening. So I'm like, oh God, you know, but it's fine, we soldier on. So come, I think they came back at 4 in the morning to come check on, no, they came back at 3 in the morning to come check on me, and I was at 4 centimeters dilated. I'm like, okay, maybe we are moving, right? Cool. So I told them that the pain was a little bit too much, so I needed something to ease the pain. So they gave me Gasoline. So I was like having this tube of gas that just makes you a bit high. So I'd put it on and I would like inhale it, and then like it would just, but guys, something about my contractions just wasn't as hard as I feel like people say. You know how like somebody explains pain to you and you're like, oh, that must have been really hard. I don't think my contractions were like that, and sometimes I think that's possibly the reason why maybe like I was not dilating as I should have been. I don't know. That's what I think. Okay, so at this point I am, every time like I would get contractions, it was like 2 minutes apart, right? No, it was 2 minutes to a minute apart, I think. So I would fall asleep within those the minutes, and then when it comes back, I'm awake and I'm holding on to the metals of the bed and I'm just breathing. 4 o'clock comes, they check me, I'm still stuck at 4 centimeters. 6 o'clock they check me, so the doctor comes and they inform me that I have not been dilating, so I need to consider going into theater. And I started panicking, and I'm like, what? No, there's no way. This is no. I think I'm gonna die. I think something's gonna happen to me. I call my mom and I inform her that they want to take me into theater and I don't know what to do. And she's like, no, it's gonna be okay. Just go. If you're not dilating, this is the only way we can get the baby out. And I call my boyfriend and I inform him of the same thing, and he says the same thing, that you just need to breathe in, and like if you're not dilating, then you must just go into theater. I told them to give me a little bit of time, maybe I'll dilate and we will see. I told them to give me until 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock comes, I still haven't dilated, I'm still at 4 centimeters. So at this point they're like, you need to sign the papers, because if you don't sign the papers, the baby is going to get stressed and the baby is going to poop in the stomach, and that can cause the baby to die. So right there and then I was like, you know what, let's get right onto it, because I don't want to walk out of here without my baby. It's the scariest thing ever. So I start like just panicking. I'm trying to call my cousin if she can come, and she's like, she's busy. I'm calling my twin brother's number to come and he's not picking up. So I'm like, I guess I have to do this alone then. I couldn't call my mom because she was at work. I didn't want to disturb her. So fine, around 11 o'clock, they start to prep me in and like book me in for theater, right? So around 11 o'clock, they tell me that I can sign the papers of consent and everything, because I was obviously of age to sign my own life away. I didn't even read, guys. Like, I didn't read those documents. My contractions were fire at this moment, and I was just like, I just want to get it over and done with. Okay, I think 11 past a few minutes, they came to get me to go to theater. And they told me to walk on over to the door. I still remember me walking over, and I didn't have one sock on. And they were like, oh, please just put your belongings in one space. We are going to move them to your postpartum room. Cool. So I walk over. I remember the nurse telling me, please hurry up. We need to get you on the bed so we can wheel you in. This is kind of like an emergency now. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know what I'm going through? I am having major contractions and you're telling me to walk fast. Okay. So they wheel me in, they tie my hair. I had braids in, I had box braids in. So they had to like put them in a bun and cover them up. Mason, please, you will fall. We get to theater. It's a very big room full of just people. That's how I felt. There's a bed in the middle of the room. So I walk over to the bed, and I believe there was about at least 5 nurses. I don't know if they were student nurses or just like regular nurses, but yeah, 5 of those. My OBGYN, a psychologist, and a pediatrician. They tell me to sit on the bed and to push like my back out so that they can give me injections. They told me that I was gonna be numb from the waist down, and then they can start with the operation. So I laid down after the injections, which were like maybe 2 of them. I don't remember, but it felt like there were 2. So I lay down, and on my left there was a psychologist, the man that was talking to me throughout the whole thing, like just asking me a bunch of questions, and I guess it's to keep me awake because I was really exhausted. It was for him to keep me awake, and he was just like talking to me, asking me questions, asking me what the baby's name was, where the baby dad was, and where my phone was, so he can take pictures of me. And I'm like, nobody told me I could bring my phone. I would have honestly brought my phone, but then my doctor was like, my OBG was like, it's fine, I'm going to take the pictures and I'm going to send them to you. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, thank you so much, sir. They kept poking on my big toe, asking me if I could feel the pain, until I told them that I couldn't feel the pain anymore. And that's when they started with the cutting. You know how like there's this huge mirror up there, and you can like, it's like it's a light, but it's also like it has a reflection of a mirror, and I could see myself. I could literally see myself the whole time. And this man that was sitting beside me talking to me, he kept saying, Miriam, you're not answering my questions. And I'm like, no, I'm looking at myself. He's like, but you're cheating, you're not supposed to be looking at yourself. And I'm like, well, I can't help it, it's right there. So I decided to look away because it was getting weird. Like the whole operation was just getting weird. So they kept playing music. It was like a really like fun place to be in. It wasn't as scary. You know how they make it so scary in the movies? It's nothing like it, I promise you. Or at least that was my experience. So it was amazing. I felt comfortable. I felt like people were really there to care for me. It was like a very good environment. So it took them at least like, because I went in at 11 and by 12:13 she was out. She was out, a beautiful big baby girl crying. And I remember when they held the baby up to me. I have a picture that I'll insert over here. They held the baby up to me and they were like, oh ma'am, look at your baby. And I'm looking at the baby and I'm like, wow, where did she come from? They're like, oh, she was in your belly. I'm like, she looks so huge. How can somebody that big be in my belly? I was in disbelief. I was like, what? She's so big. Like, where was she hiding? And they're like, oh, well, she was in there somewhere. So yeah, they showed me, they asked me what gender she was. I was so happy, I was crying. And they were like, what's her name? It was just an exciting moment. The feeling that you get is the kind that you have never felt before. Guys, if you think you know love and you have experienced like love with your boyfriend, it's beyond that love, like the love with your love, the love of your life with your other half partner, whatever. It's just that I just feel like it's a different, maybe it's a different type of love. Basically, that's what I'm saying. It's something that is like you cannot compare it to another type of love. This is just like that kind of love. You know, if you have a child, you don't know what I'm talking about. And if you don't have and you want to have one day, I assure you this is the best feeling you can ever get. At least that's what I experienced. It was a beautiful delivery. It was really good hospitality at the hospital. Their services were amazing. And yeah, after that they started to patch me up and they started to just like, you know, do their thing. I was there, I was just resting, I was tired. They had to keep me awake. I couldn't fall asleep because like I'm not supposed to. So yeah, they patched me up and I was off to go back to my new room, my postpartum room. So they wheeled me over there. She weighed 3.5 kgs. I think she was 49 centimeters long. I don't remember her head circumference, but yeah, it was beautiful. So they took her away first before me, and they went to go clean her up and just like dress her up and keep her warm. And I think they also fed her because like I was in there for a while before I came out. I think it takes like, they told me the surgery was gonna take like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, so that was my best story, guys. After that, they just wheeled me back to my room, and funny enough, I had to wait like maybe like 3 hours before I saw my daughter, because the thing is, the nurses that were there, their shift kind of like ended, and then I had to like get the other new nurses. Give me a second. So it took them at least 3 hours to bring my baby, because the nurses that were supposed to bring the baby, their shift ended, and then when the other ones came in, I think in their mind they thought that I had already seen the baby, but I don't understand how, because you're supposed to bring the baby to stay in with you. They brought the baby to me 3 hours later, and they kept like scolding me, which why didn't I ask for the baby so that I can breastfeed, because her glucose level was going to be low and all that. So I was just like, I don't know why you're blaming me, because I can't even walk. I would have loved to go get my child, but I can't walk. Anyway, so they brought the baby and I couldn't stop staring. It was the most beautiful moment ever. I was looking at how like she looks exactly like her dad before that. Now she looks just like me. It was like amazing. It was the best birth ever. And when I walked out of the hospital, I could like walk, I could do everything. Before they discharge you out of the hospital, they have to make sure that you can go to the bathroom, you can help yourself, and that the baby has gone to the bathroom, and they're like they're fully okay after all the tests that they do. Stayed in the hospital for 4 days, and yeah, they have good food. It's not the best, but it's okay. And you have your own private bathroom, but I was sharing my room with another lady, but she came in 2 days after I had already been there. So yeah, it was not bad, it was okay. We were both okay, we were happy, the baby was healthy, I was healthy, and we were all doing well. I was just gonna go home now and like just be in love with my baby, learn how to be a mom, and like just accept the new reality of my life. And it was amazing. It's still the most amazing thing that has ever happened to me, and I'm so grateful for that we were both healthy and everything was well with us. It was my start of being a mother, my motherhood. So yeah, that was my birth and delivery story at a private hospital. So I do really recommend for Ondangwa Private for those that are like, you know, researching as to where to go. I also like ended up meeting one of the best pediatricians in Ondangwa. I ended up meeting him in the hospital. His name is Dr. Focus Ngabiria, and he is based at Ondangwa Private Hospital. So yes, thank you guys very much for tuning in to this video, and thank you for the new subscribers for subscribing and watching. I do appreciate it so much. Please don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell notification so that you can get notified of any videos that I will be posting in the future. Here is this little guy that has been doing and moving in the background. Yes, say hello. Say mwah. Mwah. Say mwah. See you guys in the next video. Say bye.